Woo! Now that's how you open up an episode. Craziness, people dying, explosions on the edge of your seat. Walking Dead hype. Hey, what's good, Walking Dead fans? This is the Campfire Crew, and we are here finally to talk about The Walking Dead. This is the mid-season premiere, and woo, boy, was it off the hook. Had me so hyped. I'm Campfire Rich.
I'm Campfire Nate, and I'm wearing this in memory of the eye that we lost tonight and all the people that we did lose tonight. You know, just a little shout out there. But yeah, no, this was awesome. I knew it was going to be. There's a lot of comic stuff that they put into this, and it was huge. It was really, really big goodness. Right off the bat. What was your first moment there, Rich?
Look, we're going to just kind of go over our favorite moments. We've got 9 favorite moments. We're going to try our best to zip through this, even though I could probably spend 10 minutes talking about each one, but we're just going to roll through them. My favorite moment, number 1, right off the bat, was the quote that the guy gave talking to Abraham, where he says, if you have to eat crap, best not to nibble. And like, I just cracked up and I was like, man, I don't know, man. That was awesome. That was a good line. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a good line. I like that line a lot too. Dude, the next moment, holy crap, RPG. I mean, dude, that whole like sequence was intense, you know, because the dude's like, I want to shoot you. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. You know what I'm saying? Like you get that tension right there because you already know it's going to be big. You're like, holy crap, what is going to happen? Dude, out of nowhere, RPG. And literally when it happened, I was just like, I mean, it's just, you could help it. You can help from just staring at it like, what the crap just happened? And then there he is, Daryl, holding the rocket launcher.
It come out of nowhere. Look, here's how it went down. Like, the thing that makes the show so good is that a lot of people are expendable, right? So the fact that this dude, it wasn't like most shows you're sitting there watching this like, he ain't going to kill him. You literally didn't really know. I was pretty sure about Abraham being safe. I didn't know about Sasha. I was like, they could kill one of these guys off right now just to get this show started off with a bang. Mm-hmm. When Daryl took that dude to the back, I was like, yo, Daryl could kill this dude. But then what? You know, they got a whole motorcycle gang back there. I didn't forget about the rocket. I don't remember. I didn't think it worked. I don't know. Something about it made me think that it wasn't operating or something. And then when they blew up, my wife's freaking like, what just happened? I said, Daryl killed the dude in the back, took the rocket, blew him up. And then it showed him with the rocket. And she just looked at me, started smiling. I was like, yeah.
It was epic. That was an epic start off right off the bat, dude. Just bam.
Favorite moment number 3. It kind of skips on a little bit, but the thing that stood out for me was when they're walking and then Sam loses it. You know, Carol's, horror stories start getting into his head and then, repeating what she said about him being eaten up. And you see that little boy, he flips. We knew he was eventually going to flip. He gets eaten, right? This is how quick this happened, Nate. I'm writing, I'm typing my notes up to get ready for this, like a moments that I really liked. I felt like a court reporter, like one of those people who type up.
It's like, all right, Sam just went down.
It was just like, all right, Sam got jacked up. Sam's mama just got jacked up. Ron just got stabbed. Like, I mean, all of that whole scene, dude, was ridiculous. Like, it was like my mouth kept dropping at each moment. Yeah, and then Carl's looking with his eyeball gone. Talk about dad. My wife's about to be in tears. She's grabbing me on the arm. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, no, for me, because I've read the comics, that entire scene is pretty much just exactly out of the comics, minus a few little people here and there. But I knew it was coming. I thought they were going to do it last. I thought that's how they would end the finale, because it led up to that. I just knew it was going to end with that, and it didn't. The way they took it into it, I loved how they waited till like the middle, not like hit you right off the bat. They kind of middle of the show, kind of like that arc right in the middle. It was great. I loved it. I mean, verbatim comics, the kid goes down, the mama starts going down. She don't know what on. She won't let go of Carl. Rick just chops her arm off. I mean,
has this little flashback and just says, gotta take your arm off.
Right out of the comics. And the fact, like, Ron's not a comic character. He wasn't in the comics. So the fact that they added that, I think in the comics, it was someone else that accidentally shot Carl. Okay. So not that it's important right now, but the fact that like you weren't sure like what, like I was waiting for Ron to like pull the trigger and Carl to like jump in the way. Now Michonne said, "Nah, this is it." Boom.
Yeah, loved it.
And I mean, he shoots Carl, and I mean, the epic image that is probably on the screen right now from the comics is when Carl turns around and he's just like, "Dad." That's how that comic ended. Okay, it ended with that last image, and of course you're just like, holy crap. Holy crap, I got I mean, that's how you felt. I mean, the fact that they didn't, I thought they would end like that and they didn't, but
Oh, I wasn't freaking because I know, a little bit about the comics, picking up a little bit later than that. My wife, on the other hand, didn't, and she was freaking, and I bet a lot of people at home was freaking out as well.
yeah, no, they were definitely freaking out for sure.
Nate, man, what's your next favorite moment? I think this puts us on favorite moment number 4.
Yeah, number 4, I liked the strange transformation from the wolf. He's kind of in the situation where he wants to get the doctor to go with him because his got the infection in his leg. They try to make a break for it, and then she starts getting pulled down, and then he comes back, which is very uncharacteristic. And even she pointed out to him. He comes back, he tries to protect her, and then they go that one way, and she's like, why'd you come back for me?
Right.
And I feel like you kind of start to wonder was the fact that he's changed it have to do with what Morgan was trying to push on him, or was it Denise in general? Did he like her? Did she start to kind of to get to him a little bit? But then when he goes out there, and I mean, Carol just blows him away.
She was itching to shoot him.
Yes, she was. And even in that moment, it's like as he went to fall, he like grabbed people and was like, trying to keep them off of her.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a big deal. I mean, dude knew he was done. He could totally just fell over and been like, I'm done. But in that last moment, he still did that. And I think Carol kind of noticed that too, because it kind of panned up at her and she was kind of noticing it.
She gives a flip, to be honest. I don't think
she does, but I think maybe for that moment she kind of thought. I think I'm wondering if that's
what went through her, man. Look, man, a lot kind of happened. Like a lot changed. Like you still have this kind of open ended. Like, did the wolf really change? Was he looking out for just himself? He needed her as a doctor, but she was just like, "You saved me." She's like, "Get me to the infirmary. I'll save your life." And he immediately just starts pushing zombies out of the way, and going in and doing that whole thing. So it was cool to see that happen. And it also was cool to see her not be scared anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you get the transition and did that happen because he forced her? He kind of pushed her? Did it give her more hope to say, man, this dude gave his life for me. I'm kind of amped up right now. Because when you see Carl and them running along, she's just like, no, he's not bit. Do this, open up the door. Like she starts taking charge and stepping up. And I enjoyed that whole little segment right there, kind of seeing the characters develop a little bit more.
Yeah, no, it was big. When she was ready to do it, they got in there, and it was perfect timing. Carl, Rick brought Carl in, he drops him off, and then that leads into the next moment. And it's a moment where the way it ended was so epic because you saw Rick, and he's just like doesn't know what to do, and then he just opens the door and he walks out with his axe in his hand. And I mean, literally, when that happened, I told my wife, I was like, Rick sees red.
Bro.
Like that's all it was. Like dude just went red. And that's the next moment right there. Yeah. That's moment number 5. Rick just goes crazy.
This was crazy. Like he grabbed that axe and he walks out. Some people to clear their mind. Like when I was in high school, I'd go to the basketball gym. I'd shoot basketball. Some people might want to read a book. They might want to take a walk. Rick goes out in a horde of zombies and starts chopping heads off. That's what calms him down. Okay, that's how he gets peace with himself. He's like, my son's about to die. I need to do something. Let's go outside and fight zombies. I don't think he had a plan, to be honest, Nate.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah, I think he was just going out, and then everybody kind of rallied behind him.
He literally knew, I can't do nothing to do. I can't do nothing for Carl. Mm-hmm. He knew that. But what he could do in that moment was to get it out a little bit. Right. And in that moment, it was just pure, like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start fighting out these zombies. I don't think he did. I think literally if no one would have come out there, I think Rick would have probably been out there until he got finally taken down.
Yeah, he'd have kept fighting. Now, that pushes us into favorite moment number 6, and that I literally got chills when the townspeople joined force. Not when Michonne. We knew Michonne was going out there. She's like, I got to get to him. Stitches. Okay, let's go. But when the other people who you didn't even know who they were so insignificant. We just knew they were weak. They're looking out the window, and the husband and wife look at each other. Next thing you know, they're coming out with kitchen knives, machetes, and they're going in. And then Rick gets this boost of energy, like, we can do this. Pack up together. Let's push the herd out of the town. We're going to save this town type mentality. And then it was like these motherfuckers. It was like storming the beach of Normandy, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. It was cool because I felt like the entire first half of the season led up to this moment. I mean, if you remember, how often do we constantly see, especially in that first episode, how Rick's like, man, these guys are weak. These guys are weak. Mm-hmm. They're not worth it. What are you doing trying to save it? Like when they tried to save the son when he was trying to go across the rope. She's like, what are you doing trying to save one of them? Like there was that split in his mind that is them and us. And I think in this moment was so pivotal because in that moment, they stepped up for him. Something that they hadn't done
Yeah.
yet. They all stepped up in that moment.
It was that fight or flight, mentality just kicked in. There were no other options.
There weren't, and I don't think he realized. I mean, I don't think he expected it. I think that's the
No.
truth. I think he probably expected Michonne and some of them. But again, I don't think he expected it. I think, like you said, when he saw that, it gave him a lot of courage in that moment, and that's what made a big deal.
I think that's when it changed for him mentally, and it was awesome because we see Gabriel. Gabriel's like, I have to do this. God's given us the strength, to do this ourselves. And then even oh my God, I just lost Eugene. Eugene's just like, well, ma'am, I think that I can go out here and do this, and they just go out. Everybody joins together. Everybody goes in, and I lost my mind. It was awesome. Nate, moving on, man. We got to keep this thing rolling. Take us into favorite moment number 7.
Number 7 for me was the whole Enid and Glenn rescuing Maggie. They were going after her. They were trying to rescue her, and again, Glenn gets in this crazy situation, and he's like fighting these people, and he's shooting them. And dude, when Glenn went down right then, I was like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, like, all of last season was nothing but like, what's happening to Glenn? Glenn almost went down, and literally in that moment, it felt like, holy crap. And then, boom, there comes Abraham and Sasha, just shooting everybody, killing them all with their assault rifles.
I got nervous. Like, I didn't think Glenn was going to die, right? Like, there's certain reasons why I don't think he's going to die. But when it happened, I was just like, are they going to do this to us again? Are they going to leave us on a cliffhanger again where he's buried under a thing of zombies? But Glenn goes in with 99 bullets and a pistol, and he's just like, bam, 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 bam. And he just backs up. Maggie's freaking out. Edith has zombies underneath her. She's climbing up to get to him. And I'm just like, yo, I'm just on the edge of my seat. My wife, again, she's freaking out. She's screaming. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going to happen. And then, boom, classic fashion, like you've already said, Abraham, they just come in. He's laughing. I was so jazzed. I don't even know what he said. He said something and started laughing.
I don't remember. I don't know exactly what he said, but it was or something like, "Hey, thanks for distracting them for us," or something like that. It was something to that effect. But man, Abraham, he is the one-line king boy. He shows up and he lets it out there, and I thought that was good. And then of course it led him into our favorite moment number 8, which was figuring out what to do about it. And they said, hey, you know what? We're going to dump all this stuff and all this fuel, and we're going to light it up. And I thought that was interesting because I know they've done that before. Like they were like, let's set the church on fire and stuff to distract the walkers. Dude, man, it was like gnats to a bug zapper, man. They were just
really was
like instantly into the water. And that that was kind of a cool moment because when that happened, it kind of looked like it was looking bad for the rest of them. I think that's kind of what they made it. They were starting to get backed up in a corner. Things are looking kind of grim. And all of a sudden, boom, the thing blows off and all the walkers start getting attracted. So now they're behind them and they can get that, they can attack them while pushing them towards the fire. And I thought that was a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know if it was meant to be this, but for me, it was like metaphoric. For anybody out there who farms, you get the most fertile soil and ground after you burn down a field or something like that. So it's like the cleansing, right? Like out with the old, weak Alexandrians, only the stronger left.
Cleansing Alexandria.
They went through it. They fought. They made their stand. They've cleaned out the zombies, and now we kind of get to start stepping into this new world, which kind of solidifies that with Rick's speech to Carl, which is our favorite moment, number 9, to start to wrap this up. And this real touching speech, but the one thing he said out of it that really hit home with me was like, I haven't had this feeling since before I woke up in the hospital, and that is, I want to show you this new world. Finally, Rick has come to grips, like, it's possible. We can do it. You was right. I see the strength in this town.
Yeah.
The whole
it's
thing.
It's a feeling of
great.
home. You know what I'm saying? Like he's feeling like he's home. Feeling like he's where he's supposed to be. And now he has all these people that he feels all of a sudden now they're worth saving. This is a place that's worth fighting for, in that moment. And I thought that was a big deal because it literally took all this shenanigans to take place to get Rick to that moment because,
right.
Beginning of the season, Rick was like, F these guys. I don't care if they all die. We got to keep ourselves safe.
Right.
And now he's like, hey, you know what? We're all together in this. So I think that's a big deal for the turn-in of what's going to happen for the rest of this series.
Yep. It was amazing, guys. We like it. Hey, Grimes and Dixon 2016. Let's go. Yeah, guys, that's a wrap up for this video. Down in the comment section below, I'm sure we might have had some different favorite moments that y'all had. Let us know what your favorite moments were. If you like this video, man, then click the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, because we're going to be breaking this down every week. And we do a lot of other things. We got some cool stuff in the works coming out for other shows and movies and whatnot. So until next time, guys, we out.
See ya.